our budget. So we had some more capital put towards the energy transition. Investment tax credits increased for clean electricity, for clean hydrogen, manufacturing. There's been some reports recently. I was at a conference yesterday. There was kind of a debate of whether they did enough on carbon capture. So maybe a two-part question. One, do you think Canada has done enough or needs to do more to attract capital back to Canada away from the U.S.? The U.S. just did an Inflation Reduction Act, which essentially was a lot of red carpet towards the things I just spoke about. Europe has done a lot and may do more this year. So do you think we've done enough here in Canada? Do we need to do more? And then secondly, across the U.S. and Canada with our new tax credits and the IRA down there, what areas benefit Enbridge the most, and where are you pushing your new technologies?
Great. I think the way I'd kind of tackle this is the U.S. came out with the most aggressive, I guess, tax reform on encouraging energy transition investments. They've offered very significant investment tax credits. They've offered production tax credits. They've put in place what's something called the alternative minimum tax, which is supposed to pay for this. But if you invest in energy transition investments, you can go below that alternative minimum tax. So really they put into, in effect, a tax and credit regime that highly incents people to invest in renewable power, to invest in hydrogen, renewable natural gas, and carbon capture. In Canada, we have a similar tax regime, but it's not as aggressive. And with respect to carbon capture, the U.S. is offering a very visible price for each ton of carbon that you sequester. Whereas in Canada, it's a little less clear what actually is going to happen if you sequester a ton of carbon. So with all that, the U.S. has leapfrogged Canada on energy transition. The U.S. is ahead of Europe as well. And you're seeing large pools of capital move to the U.S. So as a global company, when we're looking at investment decisions, it really does skew investments to go to the U.S. just because there's more certainty and better returns. I think Canada can do more, and hopefully they will do more, because I do think without some of these certainty on carbon capture in particular, Canada won't meet its climate change goals for 2030 in particular. I think we want to reduce total emissions in this country by 300 megatons per year, and carbon capture and sequestration by itself can provide a third of that, but no one's going to make any large capital investments until there's more certainty on that. We're seeing in the U.S. very strong corporate demand for clean energy, whether it's renewable power, whether it's renewable gas. And I think this week we announced a blue ammonia facility that will provide clean ammonia to be used to produce fertilizer in Europe. I think it's very instructive that you're seeing all these announcements in the U.S. When you're not seeing that many in Canada. So we have a little bit of work to do, but I think there's a way to come back from this for sure.